There are roughly 500,000 islands on Earth with an area over 1 hectare. About 10,000 of them have ever been listed for private sale. At this exact moment, you can buy one for less than the price of a used car. Or you can spend $300 million and still not own the most valuable one on this list. Same ocean, 7 completely different realities. Here's what actually separates them.
Level 1. This is where most people think the story starts, and most people are wrong about what they're buying. Canada alone has over 180,000 freshwater islands. A significant number of them are privately listed for under $50,000. Finland, Sweden, Nova Scotia, same story. You can genuinely buy an island for $20,000 to $40,000. What you're actually buying, a piece of land surrounded by water. That's it. No electricity, no running water, no road access, no dock, no structure, just land. In some cases, the land itself is barely above the waterline at high tide. Imagine you pay $35,000 for a 2-hectare island in Ontario. You now need a boat to reach it, call it $20,000 for something reliable. A permit to build anything, $5,000 to $15,000 depending on the province. A generator if you want power. A composting toilet system. A water filtration setup. Before you've laid a single foundation stone, you've spent another $60,000 to $80,000. Your $35,000 island just cost $100,000, and you haven't built anything yet. This is the entry point. It's real, it's legal, and it is absolutely not what it looks like on the listing. Level 2. You have real money now, 6 figures. And for $100,000 to $800,000, you can find actual tropical islands. White sand, turquoise water. The real thing. Belize, the Bahamas, Croatia, Panama. They exist. They are listed. But here's where the legal architecture begins. And this is the part nobody puts in the headline. In Thailand, foreign nationals cannot own land at all. You can lease it for 30 years. That means you're not an owner. You're a long-term tenant on your own island with a contract that expires. The same applies in the Philippines, Indonesia, and several Pacific nations. In the Bahamas, foreigners can own freehold, but must register with the government's investments board and obtain approval, which adds time and cost to every transaction. Then there's the holding cost. A small island in a hurricane-prone zone, Category 4 and 5 storms hit the Caribbean regularly. Will cost you $15,000 to $30,000 per year in insurance, maintenance permits, and basic upkeep, even if you never visit. You are paying rent on land you own, every single year. Level 3. $1 to $5 million. This is the first tier where you're buying something that already functions. There's a structure on the island, a dock, probably solar panels, a water catchment or desalination system. You're not starting from zero. Johnny Depp owned Little Hall's Pond Cay in the Bahamas, a private island he purchased in the early 2000s. He listed it for sale in 2021 at approximately $5.65 million. According to Farhad Vladi, the average private island listing spends 3 to 7 years on the market. The pool of buyers is globally tiny. At this level, the lifestyle is real. Full privacy, no neighbors. The question is whether you want to pay $80,000 to $120,000 per year in annual costs for it. Level 4. $5 to $20 million. This is the tier where your private island stops being a personal hideaway and becomes an ultra-luxury resort or a commercial enterprise. Richard Branson purchased Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands in 1978 for just $180,000. Today, Necker Island is worth over $100 million and rents out for more than $100,000 per night. To run a place like this, you need a small army. Full-time chefs, boat captains, hospitality staff, and engineers to manage the power grid and desalination plants. The annual operational cost for a high-end commercial island ranges from $500,000 to $1.5 million. It's an asset that aggressively burns cash every single day unless it's constantly booked. At this level, you don't own an island for peace and quiet. You own a high-stakes hospitality business disguised as a paradise. Level 5. $20 to $50 million. At this tier, you aren't just buying an island. You are buying an independent kingdom. Massive infrastructure, private runways, and complete autonomy. David Copperfield's Musha Cay in the Bahamas is a prime example. He transformed it into an ultra-exclusive resort where a 4-night minimum stay costs around $50,000 per night. Maintaining an asset of this magnitude requires industrial-grade engineering. We are talking commercial power generators, water desalination plants, and a non-stop supply chain from the mainland. Fixed costs here are staggering. Property taxes, security teams, and specialized engineering staff easily push the annual baseline cost past $2 million. At this level, it's no longer an investment. It's the ultimate status symbol of absolute isolation and elite privilege. Level 6. 50 to over $100 million. This is the final frontier of private wealth. You aren't just buying an island, you are buying an entire ecosystem. Sometimes an entire town with its own infrastructure. In 2012, Larry Ellison purchased 98% of Lanai, Hawaii, for $300 million. Lanai is 364 square kilometers. It has a resident population of 3,000 people. It has 2 Four Seasons hotels, 1 airport, 1 school, and almost no other infrastructure that Ellison doesn't now effectively control. Annual operating costs at this level range from $5 million to $20 million per year, depending on the island's size and infrastructure complexity. This is where the island becomes a responsibility and a political relationship. You are buying a kingdom. Level 7. And this tier has no price because these islands are not for sale. And that's the point. The Palm Jumeirah in Dubai was state infrastructure built to transform a coastline. North Sentinel Island is protected by Indian law. It is inhabited by people who have had no contact with the outside world. It is by law beyond commerce. Law. Bikini Atoll was used for nuclear testing. 23 nuclear devices were detonated there. The island remains uninhabited to this day.
These are the islands that tell you exactly where the limits of private wealth actually are. The ocean doesn't care who owns it. From a simple $200,000 plot of land to a $300 million sovereign ecosystem, the dream of owning a private island changes completely at every single level. But the question remains, is it a true paradise of absolute freedom, or just the most expensive financial trap in the world? Which level would you choose if money wasn't an issue? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.